Hello everyone and welcome back. So today we are going to discuss about how we can use content network within semantic onboarding. So in previous session we have seen that what are the features available for semantic onboarding regarding the introduction of semantic onboarding. And then in this session we will be going through the content network. So probably we will take few examples from the samples or business content and we'll see like how the installation works. Process wise it is more or less the same. So we will quickly jump to the demo session. So we are now in the semantic onboarding screen, and here you can see there are three major categories, which is SAP systems, content network, and data product. So in this session, we will be focusing on the content network. Within that, we have three options: samples, business content, and third-party content. As I have already told in the previous session, that sample is something which you can use for the training or learning purpose. So it comes up with some sample data with business terms like finance, HR, or sales related data. And you can use it for understanding how the join works or how the data flow works, how analytical model works. So what is will be it is similar to the one when you will be working for any organization or real time requirement. It will be kind of a similar um, uh, a model or a similar workflow or a data flow development you will be doing. Business content is something like which is pre-delivered by SAP, and you can use it for your organization if it meets the requirement. Also, like you can use it as a starting point to save some effort so that you have the base ready. For example, you are working on a finance related reporting, but if you want to go and create the hierarchies, the master data, the dimension tables, the transaction tables, everything manually, then it is a time taking process, right? So you can select any of the business content from a data sphere and you install it so that at least your base is ready. So once your base is ready, you can leverage that, and on top of that, you can create your own custom view for your based on your business requirement to generate different analytical model and use it for different analytical or reporting purposes. And third party business content is something like which are provided by any third party. It can be other companies. So if I open this option, you can see so functionality wise it is similar, but it again, because the first two options are owned by SAP, so any upgrade, any changes, anything is completely owned by SAP. Okay, but in this case, these are created by different companies like Crave Infotech, KP Consulting, PwC, EY. So many companies are there which are creating some reusable business content and publishing it through here. It's kind of a reusable content it is, and then you can use it. But it again depends. So for each kind of a business content, you need to clearly read whatever is being written or provided in the details, like what are the prerequisite, what sort of connections you need. So many of the times you will install everything and then it will not work because it is compatible with a certain kind of connections or something. So you need to be very clear on that. So as a training purpose or as a learning purpose, we will start with the samples. So I'll just click on the sample one, and within sample as of now we see two options. One is SAP Datasphere, FIHR, and SD. Another is same FISR. So what is the difference between the two? The first one is the latest one. If you see the change on date, it is 7th of October 2024, and the other one is February 2026. That means this is the latest one. So you can use this latest option, but before using it, let me open it. So before using it, you need to make sure that you met the requirement. So you are already having the access of the required things. So these are fine. These are like import overview, package overview, and information like what is the description of this and the details about the package, what information is contained, and then this content package covers what topics. So kind of what KPIs or what questions are there, and the content is not meant for being productivity. So as I said, this is for the training purpose. Okay, so or learning purpose. Now it contains certain KPIs, as an example from finance, human resource, and sales. And this is very important point, data connectivity. Okay, so this is based on the sample data from marketplace, data provider, live connection to data sphere. Okay, so you need to have an access within marketplace, you first need to see whether you have access to a specific data provider or not. It is not like if you are able to see it in the marketplace, you have the access. It is not like that. It should be installed in a space for which you have the builder access or the developer access. So if I open this, so here you can see there is an option. So find all information related to the implementation. So there is a blog. So you can revisit this blog as well to understand how or what sort of information or access or how you can use your this marketplace data. So here you can see in that blog, it is clearly mentioned that if you go down, you need to go to the data market and you need to search for this one, SAP Datasphere sample content for FI, HR and SD. So if you are able to see this and if you are able to install it within your workspace of or this is already there in your workspace, then you are good to go and use this option. Okay, because um, the advantage of using this sample content is you do not need to load the data because data is already there at the marketplace. You can reuse it, and on top of it you can have your respective model. So the design is like that only. So here you see there is no such connectivity added, simply because these views are created on the only two tables you have and the respective views. So these views are probably created on top of the data content that are part of that marketplace data provider. Okay, so once you have the access of that, it is you just install this and it will start working. So no issues in that. So that is why you say the content is very less. It is not much. So only views are there and only two tables. That too also. One is some financial transaction data and another is headcount. The rest are views only. That means these views are created on top of. So here we don't have product text or something. So how these are coming? So these are coming from the marketplace. So that is the prerequisite. You need to have this marketplace related data provider installed in your space first. That is a prerequisite to use this sample business content to work. If you don't have the access, nothing to worry about, because we are here to learn. So we can close this and we go with the other option. In this option, we will have more objects, but we need to manually upload the CSV file to those tables. Okay, so um, not like the first option where we were getting the data from the marketplace. Here we need to upload the data. So here you see the content list is very long and we have lot many um, local tables, like for product text hierarchy, everything has its own dimension or text table and the transaction or the fact table. Okay, so what we will do is we'll go with this option, and you are already aware about this, but I will simply recommend that never be in a hurry, because for a learning phase it's always recommended to read each and every section for the business content or sample content installation, so that you will learn that if there any GitHub. So in this case you will be using GitHub. So when you will open this, you'll have this GitHub repository, and within that GitHub repository you need to go to sample content in SAP, and within that you will have CSV named folder, and within CSV named folder you will have three files called finance, FI, HR and sales. So these files contains data in CSV format for each of our local table that is part of this um, sample content. So you see the data connectivity is sample data CSV file. One important point I want to mention here is, before installing anything from content network, make sure that you have a space called SAP underscore content. So why it is recommended is because these are the objects that you are installing, and it is not created by or developed by you, right? It is either developed by SAP in case of sample content or business content, or it is created by any third party in case of third party content installation. That means those are managed and governed by, not by you, but by either SAP or the third party. So if you install it in your own space and you you will do modification, because this is how we manage the spaces, and we provide access based on the spaces as well. And within a space also we will have the privilege. That's fine. But when you will be providing the access, maybe within your space, you have one space, let's say for finance. Now within that finance space many people have access, and they are not aware that this is a business content, and they will change it, which is not recommended. So it is never recommended to change the content that is being installed from the content network. You can just simply use it, and using it you can create your own object on top of it. For example, if you have already worked on CDS views, it is never recommended to change the code of the SAP provided CDS view. But we create an extended CDS view. That means we create a CDS view on top of SAP's provided CDS view, and we do all the customization in our custom CDS view, not on the standard one. Similar is the concept here also. Whenever we need any logic change or any customization on any view or analytical model, we will not simply do it on these objects. We will not do any changes to any of these objects which are starting with SAP underscore. So these are all standard objects, and we will simply just sharing it and reusing it for our reporting or analytical purpose. And we will be creating an extended view. So we will use this view and we'll create another view using this view, but we'll not change this view. So whatever logic we need to write, we will write in our view or in our table, not in these tables or these views. So that's, I hope that's clear. And then the next option is, let's suppose, um, so this was the thing. So you have to do all your content network installation within a space called SAP underscore content. If you have an admin rights, you need to create this space if it is not there. Or in case you are using any training tenant, like for the trial account or something, so that means you either don't have access to this space, or you are also not authorized to create a space. So in those cases you can use your training space or whatever space you are having the access, because that is just for the training purpose or the learning purpose. But in case you are working for an organization, then you need to have the authorization to create the space, or you need to get it created. So always use SAP underscore content space for these kind of installation. So here I don't have any such space created, so I will select this create space option. But in case you want to use your space for which you have the access, you can select those. So in my case, I will simply select create space, and then I want to deploy all the contents after the import is successful. So I'll select everything because I need to install everything, and then I will simply click on import. Okay, so it seems that the import got failed, so we need to see the error message. So we can see the import summary. Most of the objects are successful. Then we have here a failure message. So it says that we couldn't save the object fin transaction because it's dependent on missing object, and these are the missing objects. So from this we can see that some standard SAP content is missing from the space. So because this SAP underscore content space was not there, it is created by this installation itself. It doesn't have the time table and the time related dimension. So we need to fix it, and then we will reinstall it. So to fix it, what we need to do, we need to go to the spaces. So within spaces, we can see that SAP content space is created. Now, the first thing we need to do is to add the scope. So to do that, we can also do it from the role section. So now we go back to the spaces and we can see the scope is added. So we'll go to edit option, and then in the time option, so we need to ensure that it is in deployed status. We need to create a time dimension. So this is the time dimension creation screen. You can keep it as is in case otherwise you can just select whatever range you want to create. So for me, I'm okay. So I'll create this time range. So this is the reason the failure has happened for the installation, because this was not there. So that is why it got failed. So time dimension or the time data is already created. Now we will try to reinstall our semantic uh, onboarding. So we'll go to the samples again. We'll select our package. We'll go to import option, select deploy after import. And now because our space is already created, so we need to select the SAP underscore content space and select everything and click import. So import has started. It will take couple of minutes based on the volume of the content, and we'll see whether if it succeeds this time or if has any another issue. So we can see that this time the installation is 100% successful. All the contents are successfully installed. If we refresh this page, we'll get the recent import status here, which is success. And now we are good to use this. So we need to go to the data builder. Within data builder, now we have two different spaces. One is the test one and another we have created as an SAP content. So when we open this SAP content, we'll be able to see all the contents that is being installed recently. So we got some error message saying that the deployment of the imported content failed on the step with error. So maybe some error has occurred where deploy after import failed. Please check the logs. The deployment of the object in space was unsuccessful. Okay, the deployment from the landing page is yet not supported for analytical model. So maybe there are analytical model as well, and from the landing page it is not supported to get it deployed. So for analytical model we need to open the model individually and then deploy it. We can't deploy in from here, which is the landing page. So what we will do, we will select everything. So in this case, we already know that there was nothing before, because this is newly created space and objects. So that is why it is good to go. But in case when you will have multiple deployments, you need to do this installation very carefully. Okay. So I will just unselect the analytical model that I have, because for deploying those models, I need to open those models and then I will be able to deploy them. So now we have unselected the models. We will try to do the mass deployment. Okay. So we got here like can be deployed, and there are some objects which can't be deployed because those are SAP related. Those are already in deployed status. So those are the standard content already. So we will simply deploy. It will take couple of minutes maybe based on the number of objects. So we have 76 objects. So let's wait till the deployment is successful. So till the time the other objects are getting deployed, let's open the model as well and deploy it from inside. So from this menu, you'll be able to deploy the models as well. Okay, deploy anyway. So as now we are done with the deployment of all the objects from the sample content. So we need to load the CSV file that is being provided in the GitHub. So you need to download the data from the GitHub. And for example, if you want to load for this job related table, you just follow the naming convention. So here the naming convention says that it is related to HR. So you just simply click on this option for the upload, select the respective file from the HR folder. So here we have the HR folder and I have the job file. Click on open. Just verify if the headers are matching and click on import. So import is done. So like this, you need to upload all the tables that is being present and the CSV files are provided. Once you are done with all the data uploads, you need to run the replication flow that you have. Maybe during the replication flow or all this process, you may face some issues, but it is good. If you face the issue, you need to know that what is causing the issue and you will be able to resolve it. And because here our major focus is to understand how we can install the business content or sample content or third party content from content network and how we can use that. So that is our major focus here. So because we already know how to use view, how to use the replication flow, data flow and all. So those things are clear to us already based on the previous sessions. So once this part is done, data is ready and everything is fine, we can schedule the data refresh. So in this case, it is CSV, but in case of business content, it might be coming from other sources. So you can refresh it on the schedule basis. Now, once that is done, here you can see I've already shared it. So you just need to click. So for example, I want to amend this view. I want to add some more information, some more columns, custom columns based on some derivation logic. So as I said, it is not recommended to change the standard view provided within the content, but we will share it with our space. So from here, we need to select the space to which I want to share. So I have already shared with my test space. So you just need to select the space you want to share and click on share. So once it is shared, then you need to go. So you can share any content, like you can share any table, any view, whatever is needed, okay, so that you can use it in your content. So this will be the standard content where you will be having all the data related to standard content like procurements or finance related, all the, and then you have your individual spaces related to finance, related to procurement and so on. So you can share it with multiple spaces based on your needs. Once the sharing is done, you can go to your respective finance or procurement space. For example, here I go to the my test space, and here I can see these are being shared from another space. So that means I won't be doing any changes to this. Okay, I won't be doing any changes to this. But what we can do is we can create a view out of it. So kind of extended view. If you have worked on CDS view, we don't change the standard CDS view, but we create a custom view on top of that standard CDS view. So similarly, like this, you can drag and drop and you can use this view, and then any calculation, any logic you want to perform, you can create calculated columns based on your requirement. So this is one of the case. Similarly, if you want to load the data from this view or any table from the standard content to your own table due to some reason, then also you can use it in data flow. So you can create a data flow, and in data flow you can use this shared objects, whether it is a view or a table, as a source. So you just drag and drop. So this will be considered as your source, and then you can map it to your target table. So this is your source, and then you will have target table. You can write the logic as per the need. So this is all for SAP sample content, how we can install the package and how you can share it with another spaces and how you can reuse it. And now we will see one simple example of business content. So in this case, I have just logged into my trial account, and here we have semantic onboarding, and I'll go to the business content. So let me refresh it. So this is the business content, and in technical or fundamental terms, there is no difference between the package within business content or package within third party or package within sample content. Technically, it looks the same. Only the content is different. The owner is different. So you need to go to, for example, if I take this project-based profitability. So as I said, you need to check the prerequisite, what sort of connections you need, what is the source of the data. So in this case, it is SAP S/4HANA Cloud. So what version of cloud is needed for this? So all those compatibility you can check in the content documentation. And then once you are done and you are good, then you can come to this option. And if you are using a trial account, you can simply import everything. Okay, so for here, what you need to do is you need to select your space because you don't have access to SAP underscore content in your trial account. So you can select your trial account here and you can install all these contents. So as it is going to take some time, so I am not doing it now because the process is same. I'll skip this part. I have installed couple of tables from here. I'll show you how we can use that. So installation is done. I have installed three or four tables. I will simply go to the data builder. So within data builder, I have these tables installed from that content. So those are business area, general entity. As you can see, these are the business content SAP underscore. Okay, so these four tables I have installed from the business content I have just shown you. You can install the entire package and you can go, but I just need to show you an example. So I have installed these four. And once the installation is done, you need to go to the application flow to create the application because the source is S4HANA. In the trial account, you'll get an option to select the S4HANA cloud. So we already have access to S4HANA cloud in the trial account if you're using a trial account. So just select the S4HANA cloud, select the container. In this case, it should be CDS view and click on select, then go to data source. So within the content information, there is a link, and within that link you will be able to see. So within the link it will open into architecture and abstracts, and you can go to the model. Within model you have master data, transaction data. So within master data, because I am showing you an example for master data, so within master data I have the respective application flow. So these are the master data related local tables. So I have accounting document type installed, so I will go here and try to search for it and see if it is visible. So I'll simply select this accounting document type. Now we'll select the next one, which is business area. I think it is business area text. Let me check. Yeah, it is business area text. So we'll select business area text here. That is our second object. Third object is chart of accounts. Okay, so for chart of accounts, this is the respective CDS view. So we need to search for this CDS view now till the search. So this is our CDS view, and the fourth one is company code. So okay, so for company code we need to select this one. So this is for company code and search. So this is like when you will install the package one time activity, you will have so many objects. So you need to create a replication flow like this. So now when we will go to selection, we have four CDS views selected, add the selections. So it will just check the status. Okay, so now it is successful. All four CDS are added in our source. Now if we want to do any projection, but in this case it is one-to-one mapping. So I will now put my target system as Datasphere. So as Datasphere target system, when you put it, automatically creates a table or suggest a table with the same name as the source table name, because many of the cases you will be replicating the series view but don't want to create these tables manually. Okay, so that is why it is replicating. But in this case we already have the table, so what we will do, we will go here and map it to existing object. So first one is, let me check, I forgot. So first one is accounting document. So map it to accounting document type. Second one is business area text. So map it to business area text. Third one is chart of account. Map it to chart of account. And fourth one is country code, company code. So all mapping are done. We are good. So we are good to deploy this solution. You can name it based on your needs. Something like replication flow, project profitability, SAP content. Something which is as per your organization naming convention. Okay. Now we are deploying the replication flow that we have just created, where we will be loading the data from the respective CDS view from S/4HANA Cloud to our Datasphere local tables. So it is successfully deployed. Now we need to run it and then data will be available here. So we can schedule it also based on our requirement. So that is all because from here, once you have the data in your staging layer available, then the concept is the same that we are discussing since all previous sessions, like how to use the table or the views or the data flows or create analytical model and all. So those concepts will remain the same. So that is what I wanted to cover, like how you can install the business content, and after installing, get the data from the respective sources. So in this case, it is CDS view and it is S4 HANA cloud. It may be different for different business content. And once the data is ready, then you can simply share the required content to your space, like if it is finance related space or respective business area space, because usually we don't use the SAP content space for all those data management roles. So it's always recommended to share those content to your space wherever it is needed, and from there on use it for the any extension or any changes. So don't change the original object that is being installed as a part of a package, but you just simply create a view on top of it or a table on top of it using a data flow and all. So that will be the whole concept how I'll be using it. So that's all for today's session. Hope you like the content. If yes, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So if you have any questions or concerns, please put in the comment section. We'll see you soon with more exciting videos. Till then, stay tuned. Have a nice day. Bye bye.